Hey, you guys. Good evening. Let me get to comments. It says connecting to multi-stream destinations. Hey, Miss Flea, how are you? I saw your message. I'm gonna get back to you, okay? I had chapstick on this table. And now I don't be looking like Dave Chappelle up here.
Shots fired.
It's his character that he plays.
Oh, you're talking about the crackhead, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, we just got demonetized.
You can't be saying that stuff, baby.
Well, that's the character.
I know, but that's why
Tyrone
I said Dave
Biggums?
Chappelle.
Is that it? Tyrone Biggums?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh my goodness. Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are new here to Roycycled, my name is Royce. The voice you hear behind the camera is my darling husband, David Bell, and together we make up Roycycled Treasures.
I'm trying the sound effects.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He's getting fancy over there on the soundboard, you guys.
I'm trying. We tried music, so tell me if the music worked on the way in. I think, I don't know if it did.
You want to say hi to whoever's here, babe?
I do. We only have a few at the moment. So, and the YouTubes, we have Made on Maple Lane, Stephanie.
They're tired of hanging out with me, babe. They had class this week, you know.
And Janet Borgers and Cheryl Lynn, who is very real. Hello from very wet Florida, Janet says. Poor Cheryl, we say that every time.
Do we?
You got to eat this for a little while, Cheryl, until somebody else comes in with a name. Just ask, who was my detective? Is it
Angie Champagne.
Angie Champagne was my detective.
And then before that, it was, somebody from Texas. Who was it?
I am a creature of the moment, and I'll harp on it until something new catches my eye or ear. So sorry, Cheryl. So, Stephanie says, like the intro music. It came with the board. Excuse me. And our grandson.
I hope it's okay. We can use it.
Yeah, it came with the board.
I know, but it doesn't mean that we have like rights to. You may want to check that.
Oh, okay.
Because I monetize on YouTube, babe. So they might like.
It's a generic song, but we will double check. And I don't know how to load it. Quite frankly, I couldn't find it. Our grandson just started pushing buttons, and it was there.
That's how the kids are, baby. They know the technology.
He's 5 years old, and he discovered where all the sound effects were.
Yes.
I don't know. So that's on YouTube. I'm on YouTube on both. Why am I on YouTube on both?
You don't say?
I don't know either. That was silly of me. So let me go to Facebook now, and I
feel like I have too much stuff on my table, even though I did take time to kind of clear things off before we started.
Let us see.
Oh, you know what? I need to grab that stamp. I thought I grabbed it, but I guess I did not.
All right, it's not, I don't know why, but now I have to go looking for Roycycled instead of it just coming up.
Oh, I didn't put you as a co-host either. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. It should come up automatically in my feed, but...
It should.
Anywho, as it comes up, we've got Brenda Whittington Heath Rowan from Tallahassee, Florida. Isn't that the state capital? I believe Tallahassee is the state capital. Debbie Shannon Hyder from Indiana. Peggy Biggs loves your audacious sign.
Thank you.
Teresa Vitrina from Southern California. Flea took the class with you and Lexi, then had a live with Mara. So inspired, Flea says.
Oh, good.
Flea Brown. Chris Schmidt, we never tire of you guys. Always ready for some Chattin and Craftin.
I am so glad you guys are here tonight. I know we have our project.
Tina Burke from Unraveled.
Oh, hey, Tina.
She's on the YouTubes right now. I believe Tina joined us on... are you the Unraveled that joined us on Whatnot? Tina? Are you Tina? Are you? I'm sorry. I have way more energy now than I did on Friday.
I know you come home from work on Friday. I get it. That's why I'm asking you, like.
No, we need to do it during the week.
Were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say we had a good time on Friday. I hope everybody was there. And those that aren't, you can join us next week. So why don't you tell them about Whatnot?
Yeah, so you guys, I have been collecting stuff for probably 20 years. I have so much stuff. I have 2 off-site storages. I have 1 on-site storage. Quite frankly, my studio is like half storage.
Oh, yeah. Everything on that side of the wall is storage.
And I still have stuff.
A bunch of stuff here.
And so we've been auctioning, and I have multiples is my problem. So we've been auctioning stuff off. So like these acorns are so cool. I can't wait to use these, but I'm waiting for the new Roycycled decoupage papers to come out before I do a project with these. But George has been making these. I wanted them, and then he makes them. So it's my brainchild, and then he makes them. But this is actually, we have so much of this tin, ceiling tin, so we're making these, and we raffled off 2 of these. Not raffled, auctioned off 2 of these.
Yes.
On Whatnot, which are super fun. But these 2 are mine. I'm going to use them as
There are
soon
many
as-
like it, but this one is mine.
This one is mine. But we did auction off 2, and I think I have some more. And I have some pumpkins too. So, but Whatnot is an app. It's live auctions. There are people on there selling, I don't know, everything. But what we sell is salvaged items, things that I've upcycled, things that I've meant to upcycle, but maybe I have multiples of and I haven't gotten to yet. Y'all know. That kind of stuff. So super fun. And of course, Dave is in charge over there, sort of.
Tina did get one, and she said it was great. That is our Unraveled.
Okay.
Tina, she is
Yes.
our Unraveled. It was great, and our grandson is so cute and energetic. You are downplaying him and his energy.
Girl, we were struggling.
I have to say this now. He decided, for whatever reason, it was time for a bath in the middle.
In the middle of the auction, but
Yeah.
we got it. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I think that was like it was a blessing.
Oh, it was, because the bathroom that he's in with the bath is the door is 3 feet from where we're doing the auction.
Yeah.
So we could see him the whole time, so there was never any issue.
Yes.
The only issue was when he decided it was time to come out of the bath,
Right now.
and he decided he was going to run into where the auction
Oh
was.
yeah. David had
And
to catch him.
I had to catch him. Because we don't
Yeah.
need law enforcement coming
No,
around.
we do not.
So we survived that. But yes, he is energetic. He is wonderful, and we were great to have him. Just a quick reminder, everybody, if you are on Facebook, we really appreciate it. If you make a comment, if you hit an emoji, hit any one you want. We love
you're
all
supposed
the
to pick
emojis.
one.
No, I my limited display here, and you Apple users have way more than I do.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So pick an emoji, whatever one you want, make a comment. But here's the other thing, share. If you make a
Please.
comment and share, it really does help the channel. It gets the channel out to more people.
My chapstick.
We really appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, it's hit the thumbs up, hit the heart, or I guess the thumbs up is the heart, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing? Okay, it's hard for me. Hit that, make a comment, and hit the bell.
Yes.
And
Please
you can
thank you.
You can customize alerts. You do not have to get alerts for everything. Lately, everywhere I've been going has been asking, so-and-so wants to send alerts to your phone. And I have to keep hitting no. Thank you. No.
We don't want no stinking alerts. No, I'm
This
just
one, this is the only alert I get. It's for Roycycled.
kidding.
Because you
got
can
me.
customize it. So you can customize it. So we would appreciate that if you do all that. Thank you, and good night.
Let me fix this camera. Okay. Lord, y'all should see me trying to navigate over here.
We do have a question already.
Yes.
Kathleen Hovis, why is the top of the acorn removable?
Because I want to be able to paint and decoupage it. So I'm going to be painting and decoupaging that just to add some more character to this. And so it was removable so that we could have a little bit more dimension, right? And also, I want it to be easy. I guess I could have just let the poor guy do it, but then you'd be able to see the edge of the metal too.
Oh.
So having it be removable kind of conceals the edge of the metal, and then I can take this off and paint and decoupage it or stencil it or whatever, right? Because I don't know what other people are going to do, the ones who got them off of Whatnot. But tonight's project, you guys, I'm going to be using the new Roycycled Crockery Stencil tonight. I'm going to be using the short one. Or should I use the tall one?
Oh, did you mention that
one
on Whatnot you can just hang out? You don't have to like buy stuff?
Yeah, you don't have to buy stuff. You can just hang out. And you guys know what? So we're in our kitchen on Whatnot too. So you get to hang out with us, and I think it's kind of behind the scenes because David's running the auction. Like we said, last Friday,
You
the
staged
grandson
the
was
kitchen.
running
Hold
around.
on.
Well, I did stage
Yeah.
the kitchen with everything on the island, but
you've got a backdrop. You built a shelf for it.
so I could put more stuff.
I'm not debating that. I'm just saying it's not like they're seeing our kitchen.
No, but we're in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Which is good because right now the kitchen's a mess.
I
So
washed dishes yesterday.
I know, and I did the laundry, but that doesn't change the fact that our kitchen's a mess.
I don't think it is. All the stuff is from around the island? Oh, it's a mess from the auction still.
Yes, exactly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not mad. I'm just saying, you know.
No, we still have the stuff from the auction.
I'm not one of those mutants, I promise. I'm not one of those, doggone it.
No.
It
I have
should
to
be.
tell you guys,
No.
David has been so sweet because the pressure is getting heavier. I have so much going on.
What accent was that?
It's a sound if you're on TikTok. You
Oh,
know it.
okay.
Anyways, I'm sorry. It's a sound on TikTok, but it's just a lot, with the release, and
Yes.
then we had the class and getting the
Stencil release.
the stencil release. So before the release to the public, there's a release to the retailers,
Right.
and then getting it shipped out, and then the release to the public, and then the class, and then we've been doing whatnots for the last 2 Fridays.
Right.
And so it's just been a lot. And so David was nice enough to do my laundry. So I'll have clean clothes this week. I appreciate it, babe.
I've said many, many, many times, I am not a dishwasher, which is why I live with plastic cutlery and paper plates. We are never out of either. I'm the king of the microwave and now the toaster oven,
I know.
which I just slapped some tin foil in, and bam, I am Mr. Disposable. But I'll do laundry all day. I never mind doing laundry.
So Kathleen said maybe use a tall one because the short one is with the paint. I know the paint. I know it's full of paint. But I do have a vision for this one. It's so funny. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do tonight, and I saw something on Facebook. I wonder if I can share the picture. Is that like ethical? It's not my picture. Let me see something really quickly.
Jennifer Stever said she hung out with us on Friday evening because she's new to Whatnot. It was fun. Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah, you can just hang out. You don't have to buy anything. And we're learning too. We learned from our experience on there, right? I'm experimenting, you guys. What we're doing tonight, I haven't done yet. I literally just saw a real piece of pottery on Facebook right before we came out. And I thought, ooh, I wonder if I could make that happen. So I'm going to do the short one. So we're going to do the short crock tonight. So the things I'll be using is the Roycycled Crockery Stencil. And this is just, showing you what the stencil looks like when you put it down. And this is with paint, you guys. So I am way too proud of the fact that I was able to replicate actual designs from like antique pottery for this stencil. But we're going to be using something else though for it. So we'll be using the crockery stencil. One of my all-time favorites, you guys probably haven't seen this one for a while, transfers from Iron Orchid Design. This is the Franz Botanical. And I'm going to be taking this guy apart and using it inside of my crock. And I also am going to be using the Sprigs stamp from IOD for this one. And I also pulled out some, this is from the Vintage Texture, I think it is, stamp. You get 4 different textures. And I pulled out both. This one is supposed to be for metal. I don't know. We'll see which one I use. I haven't decided, but I'm going to use one of these textures on my crock as well. I also have some cornstarch and my makeup brush from Dollar Tree. And I'm actually going to be using, I found these wooden cradles at Dollar Tree. I think it might be like $3.50 now, but I found this on we call it the bougie aisle, you guys. You guys know the aisle where it's more than $1. I found these on the bougie aisle. They're not as thick, as the more expensive ones you buy, but I think they're cool enough for what we do here. So,
A couple of things real quick before you start. One, if you hear changes in the sound, I'm turning my microphone on and off. I'm only turning it on when I talk because I'm closer to the air conditioner. And when I turn off, it's a little easier to hear Royce. So that's all. And I have to say this, we have Kathy Sanchez, who just joined us. And I want to bring this up. Kathy's our daughter-in-law's mom, so she's our in-law. I don't know, what do you call the parents of your in-laws? They're in-laws, right? Kathy's our in-law?
sure. I vote yes.
Okay. I don't know that there's a name for that, but
I'm sure there is. I think there is. We've had this discussion before.
yeah,
I
but
just can't remember what the name was.
we're all grandparents. How's that?
Yes.
We're all grandparents. But the reason I bring that up is not just because she's not Nana and your grandma.
Yes.
Is this weekend over in Globe, Arizona, her late husband was a champion for helping people in need.
Yes.
And they did a special day honoring him,
Which I thought was really cool.
which is super cool. And she was there, and our daughter-in-law Ari was there, and
Baby.
and baby Tiana, and just helping anybody who could be helped, whether you were out of a home, whether you needed help with food or clothing, or maybe you were getting out of a violent situation. He was a champion of it, even while he was ill. Reading his story, holy cow, what an amazing man. Even while he was battling illness, he was doing all this for everybody. So they did a special day this weekend, so please look it up on Facebook. It was in Globe. That's where I saw it, because Ari shared it.
Yes. I saw it on Ariana's page.
Yeah, and just amazing. So if you guys can ever help your local shelters, your local food banks, do so. I know the Sanchez family would appreciate that. It'd be nice to help their shelters and their food banks where they live. But I think the bigger issue that he cared about was help whoever you can.
Yes.
So very cool, Kathy. You should be amazingly proud.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention I'm gonna be using salt wash tonight too, you guys. Y'all know I love my texture.
Flea's gonna start something here. Although she said not to start a mess.
Don't start now, it won't be none, Flea. No, I'm just kidding.
Aren't you supposed to be finishing projects or using things in your stash?
See, what had happened was the stencils came out. So that's why, I was gonna say that. I know we're supposed to be finishing the wall pocket, and we will finish it, but the new stencils came out, and so I felt compelled to do a project with the stencils. So.
Oh, Tina Burke says, Globe's a great community. My mother-in-law just passed. She lived there.
Oh.
Yeah,
sorry.
it is. My friend is the assistant editor of the newspaper there, so I get to hear all the scoop. He and I share and chat. And yeah, it's a great community. It really is. They pull together. I learned that about mining communities. They just kind of.
I think it's true about small communities.
Is that it?
It is.
Okay.
And you and I talked about the differences between places with denser populations. Because we have less population, we generally have less support because we don't have the numbers, right, to quantify financial support from formal institutions, and so we just learn how to take care of each other. I think that's what it boils down to. And you know everybody, so you're accountable to your neighbors.
Yeah, I say with regularity, I see our mayor at the gas station.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we get gas at the exact same time. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, so I see the mayor.
I tell people, because sometimes in small communities you can feel like a stepchild, right? Because we don't have as much representation, at the Capitol when it comes to issues around funding, roads, things like that. But living in a small community, your elected officials. You know what I'm saying? When Danny was with the county, he was Georgia's basketball coach. I mean, I'm saying? I see John at Genevieve's. I don't know. We see our elected officials. So if you have an issue, you have an opportunity to speak directly to them, where in the city, I don't think it's like that.
It really isn't. I grew up in a major metro area. I saw Mayor Daley once when I was a kid. One time live, living in Chicago.
Yeah.
And not the most recent Mayor Daley. I'm talking about the first Mayor Daley in the 60s.
Are they related?
Yeah, that was his father.
Oh.
So Richard J. Daley. I saw him once before, and he was mayor forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you just did not, I don't even know that I ever saw my alderman.
And so, I mean, it's difficult because our voices are smaller, right? We have less representation at the state level for different things, but at the same time, as a community, we have more access to our city councilmen. I mean,
It's true. It'd be nice if our state legislators lived here. We had one that did, and we could talk to him.
Yes.
But he got termed out. So Kathy says thank you about talking about Jason. Kathy Sanchez. So Nana said.
I know, huh?
She's now Nana.
So you guys, I just mixed. So I used my Antique Via Wise Owl paint, but I wanted to warm it up a little bit, so I just put a little bit of mohair. This color is retired. It's been gone for like 2 years. I'm probably the last retailer who has any of it left, and it's all mine because I love that color. I just wanted to warm up my white a little bit, so I just added a little bit of that. And so I'm going to be using texture with my stencil tonight. And so I just mix that up, and the salt wash just thickens your paint so that you can use it and you can create beautiful textures. So I'm using blue tape to hold my stencil in place. You can use a stencil like, adhesive, but because I'm using texture, I'm just going to use tape.
So we have a couple of things. Made on Maple Lane says salt wash is in your stash, so it qualifies.
It qualifies. Thank you.
And Denise Koviak Leonard, so are you saving that larger brush for later?
I was going to use it, and then I changed my mind. Like, I literally, you guys, I changed what I was going to do right before we came on. So you guys are seeing me work through this. I have somewhat of a plan, but it's not all worked out. Sometimes when I come to you guys with a project, I've like worked out all the things. That is not the case tonight, because I was going to do something completely different. But I saw a Facebook post. Sometimes Facebook refreshes before I get to figure something out. I hate when it does that, because I would love to say where the post was. And it wasn't somebody in our niche. I think it was a pottery person.
What I do to ensure I can see it is click on, if there's a photo with it, click on the photo.
Well, I was gonna do that, and it refreshed.
And it refreshed that fast? Okay.
So I'm gonna set this aside, and I'll make sure and wash this. If this salt wash is not too bad, it's pretty water soluble, and I'm using a chalk style paint, so this will wash off pretty easy. I just use, Dawn dishwashing liquid, and I love using melamine sponges with my stencils. It helps me get them really, really clean. So I am just gonna add, I should probably dry my edges first, but I'm not going to because we're under a time crunch.
Lisa Vansell says, Grandpa Dave, how was the ham sandwich I read about? So right before I came on, I posted our conversation from the grocery store yesterday.
Which one?
Where I picked up a package of lunch meat, and I was convinced this ham was old. It was dark, and it was nasty, and it was ugly, and then Royce pointed out to me it was roast beef.
Yeah.
So I am not afraid to show how dumb I can be. Denise Koviak Leonard, so don't wash those don't wash those salt wash brushes down the sink.
Oh, I know, Denise. I'm not the person to talk to about that. I'm terrible. Although I do have a sink. We got the house. My house is really old, you guys. So we had it replumbed. It's been about 2 years now, a year and a half.
Oh, it's been a little while, yeah.
And so I did have like a utility sink installed in the backyard just outside the door. But ask me how often I use it.
I can say not often enough.
I know, because there's literally stuff sitting on top of it right now.
What's the sponge you use to clean the stencils? Walls and More says?
It's a Mr. Clean sponge, but I don't buy Mr. Clean because it's expensive. So they're actually in my Amazon shop. I'll give you guys, this is the link to my Amazon shop, and they're in there. They're melamine sponges. So if you buy the melamine sponges, they're much cheaper. For what you pay for 2 Mr. Clean sponges, you can get like a pack of 20 melamine sponges. Like, it's a big difference in price. I'm sweating. You guys, I want to know who decided that hot flashes was appropriate. Like, that was the thing we'd have to go through as we grew older. Because I'm not appreciating it. Not one bit.
Oh, Walls and More is Rima. Hi, Rima.
Hey, Rima. I know my membership, you guys, this month is going to be so weird. We have an extra week. And so your pre-recorded video will go up on Thursday. And I think we meet 3 times, like really close together. It's just the way the days fell. And now I remember it while I pulled out my big brush, so that I can kind of smooth this out a little bit. And I didn't paint my background yet, because I'm going to paint it after I do all this. I just want to smooth that out a little bit and not have as much texture, although it's not going to matter in a few minutes. It's not going to matter as much in a few minutes. So I have my texture on here, and I am going to take, I think I'm going to use like these 2 from the sprig stamp. And I just cut my stamps right off, you guys. That's how I use them. I think these 2 are going to be the right scale. I love this one, but it might be, it's going to like take over everything. So I won't use that one.
Our local chamber director likes to pop in here every now and then. I don't believe he's on right now.
Oh, no.
He loves to laugh about this when he comes on my talk show.
Oh, because I'm always talking about menopause?
Yeah. Because
you don't know that.
Robin Dayan says, I hate hot flashes.
Right, Robin?
Let's see. Vicky Valdez Green. I once ate a piece of peach pie. I thought it was the worst peach pie I had ever tasted. Turned out it was apple pie, which I don't like.
Oh, I love apple pie. And Safeway's apple pie is like decent. But the one in the brown box, baby, is better than the one in the clear one.
The half pie.
But it's yeah, exactly. The half of one just didn't taste the same as the one that was in the brown.
See, but we don't eat a full pie. That's the problem.
I really don't need a full pie.
I know. Hey, 20-year-old Dave would have eaten a full pie.
So this one is really cool, but I think because I'm going to be embossing it into my texture, I'm going to end up with one blob. Like all these little details, I don't think they're going to show up, so I'm not going to use that one. So I'm going to use these 2 because I think I'll get enough detail to get the look that I want. And then I think I'm going to go with the big crackle is what I'm going to use. So I'll be using these stamps, and my plan is to embed them into my texture. I'm going to use my dryer. I'm not going to dry it completely. I just want to dry the top so that when I embed my stamps, that the texture doesn't stick to them.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, do the cheaper sponges last as long? I bought some cheap ones. They fell apart.
They don't last as long, but you get like 50, 20. I don't know. To me, you get so many more that it's worth it. And the name brand ones are denser. I will say that. But for me, for crafting, I can't reuse them anyways. So I just prefer to get those. And I don't want to dry it too much. I just want to create a crust over the top. Just enough so it doesn't stick to my my stamps. And I'm also going to go in and dust these with some cornstarch to kind of make sure that it doesn't stick.
Gracie Paraby Lash says, I call hot flashes power surges.
Yes.
Angie Champagne says, pie freezes.
Oh, you make a valid point, Angie.
Furniture facelift by Kobe.
Hey, Colleen. Oh, is it Mike?
No, Colleen.
Oh, okay.
Says Mike Kolbiavka can eat a full pie too when he was younger. No, when I was younger I could do a full pie, but I can't now. I just can't. Heck, I've taken to cutting my sandwiches at a restaurant and bringing half home and eating it for lunch the next day. I really am a senior now. Holy cow.
Right. So there is a balance, right? If you let it dry too much, you won't get a good imprint. If you don't let it dry too much, it'll stick to your stamp and you don't get as clean of a stamp. So it is a bit of a dance. But if you get it right, it's beautiful. Let me do the stem too really good because I kind of want this one to be tall.
Do you see the new Pizza Hut commercial?
No.
They are promoting what I have been saying on this very channel, on these two platforms for years.
Which is?
Chicago pizza is thin.
Oh, I did see that one. It was like they were having like a research group or whatever.
Well, no, it was a bunch of Chicagoans saying, thanks Pizza Hut for giving away our secret.
Oh, the commercial that I saw, they were asking them, is this good? And they tasted it and they're like, no, that's not right. And then they came back with the right pizza.
Yeah, what caught my ear was deep dishes for tourists, which is true, which is really true. Locals don't get it very often. Chicago pizza is very, very thin, very crispy, almost like a cracker crust. And it's also a specific sauce that's a little sweet. It's a fennel Italian sausage, not spicy. Pepperoni's rare on a Chicago pizza.
Really? No pepperoni?
It's not usual. You can get it, it's just not usual.
Huh.
You tend to get sausage, onion, green pepper, black olive.
Okay, so my experiment is not 100%, but you guys can see, the sprig imprints in there. This one, it stuck a little bit, so the impression isn't perfect. This one was a little too shallow, and so it's not really a deep impression. This one is probably the closest to what I wanted, and of course, it's barely on there, but it's still gonna be cool. And then I added some texture using the texture stamps. So I'm gonna dry this completely, and then we will move on to the next steps. I probably should have pushed that in a little bit lighter. Those cracks are a little deeper than I thought they would be. Yeah. What were you gonna say, babe?
Oh, I was gonna say Janet Taylor Borger's New York City pizza is also thin. It is, but Chicago pizza is...
He's gonna say it's better.
Well, it is, but New York pizza is, I mean, you can fold it. You cannot fold a Chicago pizza. It will break. That's how crispy the crust is.
Well, the one that they showed, you could fold it.
Not Chicago, not real Chicago style.
Okay. I mean, the one Pizza Hut showed is what I'm saying.
And I'm not saying it's bad, because we've got a local pizzeria. Oh, for your retreat, we should ask Ben if he wants to do any catering.
Oh, I am. I plan to.
There you go. So we've got a pizzeria here. Hand makes everything. I think the only thing he doesn't make is the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, like the pepperoni, the cheese, but he makes the bread.
He makes
and
the
he makes
dough.
the sauce.
Makes the sauce.
I mean, not the dough. Yeah.
I thought he makes the sausage as well. If you make a sausage, and he tries to locally source as much of the vegetables as he can.
Yes.
And it's New York style, and it's really, really good. So I will say Chicago's better.
Yeah.
But
I know my husband's been so nice to me this week, you guys. I came in from the class Wednesday night, and he had fancy pizza waiting for me.
And I love them because they can make one I can eat.
Yes, without garlic.
Yeah, which I wish I could eat, but I can't.
Okay, so this is dry enough for me to move on to the next step. I should have, this side over here is more shallow than that side, but it's fine. But I have a lot of yummy texture in here that I want to highlight. But I'm going to go ahead and seal this first because surface is super porous right now. If I were to go in with any kind of a glaze or anything, it would suck it up really fast. And I wouldn't have any control over how dark my project gets. Where is my little cup of stuff?
Stephanie, made on Maple Lane, says she cuts in half to clean her stencils.
Oh, she cuts the Mr. Clean.
Oh, the
half,
sponges.
probably.
I thought you meant she cut her stencils. Okay.
And I'm using the clear satin 1 hour enamel. And I'm just going to do a quick sealer. And if you guys are doing this, you probably want to let it dry longer. I'll be honest, the top is dry. There's probably still moisture underneath there. But we're on a live, so we're going to just move forward.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoover says the elegant farmer in Wisconsin makes an apple pie in a bag.
In a bag?
So good. Colleen Kobialka, I love thin crust pizza. It is legit the best. Bunny West, do you have a link for your craft dryer? It's so quiet, I need that for classes. I'm always trying to talk over the top of the dryer.
Is Bunny on YouTube or Facebook?
She is on Facebook.
You know what? I have it in my Amazon store, Bunny. Inside the Stencil Lab class, I believe there's a link to my Amazon shop, and it is in there. But yes, that's why I bought it. And Bunny is a Roycycled retailer. You know what? For any of my retailers who are on, if you guys can put your links up so customers can find the stencils. I do not sell them directly, but you can find them with the Roycycled retailer. So you guys can put your links up so people can know where to go to buy the stencils. And I'm sold out at my warehouse right now, but we do have more on the way.
Teresa Vitrino says, I worked for Pizza Hut for many years when they had restaurants. We made the dough from scratch every morning. Our first cook started at 6 a.m. Not that way now, and it shows.
I know. I remember for McDonald's, I used to make biscuits at first thing in the morning. It was like a pouch, but you would add the water, you would cut the butter in, add the water, knead it, cut them. Like you had to make biscuits, and I would make like the huge sheet pans of biscuits every morning, but I don't think they probably come frozen now.
I would assume. I don't know. Let's see. Jan McCrary, I love garlic. I do too. I just can't eat it. Royce loves it. Garlic and spinach. That's her pizza. I wish I could. Matter of fact, did we miss the garlic festival here?
I think so.
I think we missed it. There's a small garlic festival here that we went to once. We'll have to go next year.
We got rained on. I was soaking wet.
Madonna, Frazee Rap. Does David have a brother? I do not.
David is an only child.
I am. Can't you tell? All I want to do is talk over Royce. Vicky Valdez Green.
Hi, Madonna. By the way, Madonna's in our membership too. She's a newer member.
Oh, very good. Vicky Valdez Green, any news on the retreat?
Oh, yes. So I am actually in the process of we have everything finalized as far as what we're going to do. Not finalized, but you know what I'm saying. I just have to get everything lined up. I have a meeting with my online business manager on Tuesday so that she can get everything the technology stuff taken care of. And then we will have the class listed soon. So by next Sunday, we should have a listing for the retreat. I'm actually super excited. I was just telling David right now to remind me to reserve the space for the banner on Main Street.
Yes, so when you get here, there'll be a big banner across our main street in our city that says, welcome to the Roycycled Retreat. Roycycled Academy?
No, Roycycled, I don't know. Roycycled Besties probably is
I am trying to make Roycycled Academy a thing. I'm trying to make Fetch a thing, and it's not working with Royce.
Trying to make what a thing?
Did you ever see, what was the movie with Paul Rudd and Cher?
Baby, you know I don't know the name of the movie.
I can't think of the name of the movie, where she was a young high school girl. I can't even think of the actress either anymore. Clueless was the name. And
Cher was in Clueless?
Yeah, well, that was the character's name.
Oh, Cher. Okay. It was...
and the other one kept trying to make Fetch a thing.
Oh.
And she's like, stop, you can't make Fetch a thing. So I'm trying to make Roycycled a thing.
Roycycled is a thing. You mean Roycycled Academy?
Yes.
Yeah, Roycycled Academy is
I like
thing.
it. Jonathan Tang says, where'd David? I'm not sure what that meant. And then said, I came for Royce and David, not just Royce. Thank you, Jonathan. There's $1 in it for you. Let's see. Teresa Vitrino, do you like red or white sauce for your pizzas?
So I like both. The garlic pizza is white sauce. So it just depends on what I'm in the mood for, really. If I get red sauce, it's going to be like the traditional pepperoni, olives, mushrooms, But if it's like the garlic pizza, then I'm going to want a white sauce.
Let's see. I'm a red sauce fan, but it's rare that I can get it. There's one frozen pizza I can eat that doesn't have garlic in it, so that's the one I eat at home. And now, because we know the owner of this pizza place, he actually has a way to make some pizzas without garlic for me.
Just for you?
I'm assuming I'm the only one. I wish I could eat it. I love it. I really do. I miss it so much. But because of Ben, I can get a takeout pizza, which I haven't been able to do for 20 years.
You know, it's interesting. I think that we here in the Valley take for granted how many local restaurants we have here. Because when people come here, that's a comment that they make. It's like, oh, you guys have like a lot of local restaurants. I mean, we have chains, but we really don't have that many.
No, our chains are the fast food chains. We don't
Yeah.
have sit-down chains.
No.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of locally owned restaurants.
Yes, we do. Most of them are Mexican food restaurants.
I know.
But if you're coming from another part of the country, it's exciting.
And I remember for the retailers retreat, we went to La Paloma, but they're not open anymore.
No, they closed. Flea says retreat, woohoo. Teresa Vitrino, what city are we in for the retreat?
In Safford, Arizona. We are in a small town. I'm excited to like show off my little small town. I think we're kind of special.
Robin Day, in what month will the retreat be?
It's going to be in April, the last weekend in April 2025. Mark your calendars, and I'm going to have information ready for you guys next weekend. I wonder if Brenda's watching.
Flea says, what color are you using?
I am using Grecian clay. I wanted something that's kind of dark, but not like super dark, just to recapture the edges. I'm having trouble getting through the texture because there's a lot of texture on this stencil, but I wasn't able to clean it off first.
Redeem says, white sauce with chicken and local is always better than chains. Darlene Craig, so happy to catch you live. Love all the products and, of course, your new release. Need to place an order soon. Well, go with your retailer, unless you are a retailer.
Yes.
In which case, yes, place an order.
So I just wanted to recapture some of the details of my crock on there, and then I'm trying to decide.
Can you, for anybody who's just joined, because we had a few, kind of, what are you doing again?
So I'm using the Roycycled Crockery Stencil, and we're creating a crock, and I've used some stamps to create texture. This is a bit of an experiment. I think I like it though. And so the thing about creating texture is there's a ton of texture on this crock. You guys can't really see it, so we're gonna glaze it to bring out those textures. I'm just trying to decide what color I want to use. I didn't find the color that I wanted to use. So, and I don't know if I want to do the Grecian clay.
Turn me on. What about that kind of copper penny one down there?
No, I don't want. I want it to be like a bisque color, which is the color I was looking for and I couldn't find.
All right. And this is one of your new stencils that just came out, right?
Yes, this just came out last week. We did have our stencil lab where we did some really cool projects using them.
Flea says, Ken is coming with me to the retreat. He's wondering what he's going to do while I'm retreating. Any ideas are welcome? Yes.
Yes.
We have. So Royce specifically chose this date for a reason.
So we have our spring festival will be happening right up the street from where you will be. And there's music, live music and food and wine. And so there will be plenty to do. And also for you guys in the evenings, there'll be stuff to do.
Right. So specifically, it's for +1s. That's the reason you chose that date. Because I remember you did a class at our spring festival, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Yeah, a few years ago.
Oh, it was before COVID, so 5 years ago.
Wow.
And it was outside, it was tough, windy. That's when we realized don't do a class at the spring festival. But who came from Tucson? It was...
I had Beverly from Tucson,
thank you.
Melissa from up north, she brought her husband.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Dorothy came from Wilcox, she brought her husband.
So lots of +1s came.
Yes.
And they got stuff to do. Like some of them went up on our mountain, they went hiking. So we have a mountain in our backyard, it's called Mount Graham. Goes up to 7,000 feet, I think our mountain does.
Sure.
And I want to say then the tours to the observatories might be open.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So if you want to, so we have 3 giant telescopes on the top of our mountain. 2 are from the University of Arizona. 1 is from the Vatican.
Yes.
The
The one has the largest mirror, right?
Yes.
In the world.
No, it's the largest binocular telescope.
Okay.
That's a U of A, University of Arizona. But they've restarted tours up there. So if your +1 wants to take a tour, I think the tours will be running then. It depends. It depends on snowfall.
Yeah.
April, the road might not be open yet.
But you guys see how just glazing that, dropping that glaze down to the recesses really brought out all the textures that I created. And like I said, they're not perfect. I'm gonna do this again, but you can see the leaves from the sprigs, and then you can see the crackle from the crackle stamp that I was able to embed in there. And I really do want to pull off all the glaze from the high points and only have it sit down in the recesses.
Closest airport is Tucson. However, our local airport manager is working his tail off to get air service to our airport likely from Phoenix. That he thinks that'll probably be the most logical. Although when I talked to him last, he's also trying to get service to and from Vegas.
Oh, wow.
But he hasn't been able to lock anything down yet, but he's working on it. So hopefully by the time of the retreat, you can fly into either Las Vegas or Phoenix. Like I say, most likely Phoenix, catch a flight to Safford, and then we'll pick you up.
Yes.
That'll be my job. All the seats in the van will be up. It'll be clean. And I'll be picking people up and taking them to the hotel, etc. So, when is the retreat? Last weekend in April 2025.
Yes, 2025. And I'll be posting details soon. Soon and very soon.
Jody Ann, what product did you use to stencil?
I used the Roycycled Crockery Stencil to stencil, and then I used Iron Orchid Designs Sprig Stamp to kind of add some texture to my stencil. I'm going in with darker colors around the edge just to kind of add some depth a little bit to this so it doesn't sit so flat. And then I'm using my white to kind of soften the edge of that shadow so it's not super obvious.
Robin House asked, does the IOD croc stamp fit inside your croc stencil?
Does IOD have a croc stamp?
So
you mean the letters? Yes, it fits perfectly, as a matter of fact. I debated using that tonight. I actually have that one. Are you talking about the stamp? Okay, the crockery stamp. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Yes, the crockery stamp will fit, and so will the transfers.
Lynn Arend reminded us, because she said she is a stockist for these, Western's Painted Rose, located at Old Time Finds Antique Mall in High Ridge, Missouri. If you are a Roycycled retailer, please put up your business name. If you have a link to a website, put that up. We encourage that. Anybody who has these and wants to let people know where they can buy them, please do.
Absolutely.
Kathy Hall, are you going to give us a list of hotels?
Yes. So when we make the page, it'll have a list of hotels. I don't know if that'll be done next week because I'm trying to block out rooms.
So Royce is on our Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber has been working with our local hotels about a chamber block for events, a block of rooms. So this would be one of them. So you're still in the process of blocking them out. Yeah, but yes, there will be.
There will be. And the rural policy forum is this week, so I know I'm not going to be able to get Vance.
Yeah, everybody's gone right now.
But yes, we will have that up for you guys. I don't know if that will be up this week, but it will be up there. So we do have motels, regular motels, just because we're small. We still have regular motels here. And this is just glaze, you guys. There's a couple of things. I'm using a glaze because I still want you guys to be able to see through the glaze to the como se dice, the crock. And then I'm using a cooler glaze. There's a warmer glaze. This is black walnut. And the glaze I use for my people in my stencil lab class, I'm sorry, I picked up the wrong glaze. It was a warmer color. So When you're wanting to create like that dimension, you want to push something back. It's better to use a cooler color than a darker color. And I'm going to paint my background really quickly too. Let me dry this and we're going to seal it and then I'll paint my background. And I like to seal in between layers. So let's just say I'm painting my background and I get paint on here by mistake. I don't want to mess up the work that I've already done, right? So I'm going to seal this so that everything stays put. And if I accidentally get paint or something on there, I can just wipe it off.
Lisa Vansil, any Airbnbs? Yes, we do have a couple. There's one.
I should talk to Karen.
Christian and Zully stayed at one that they really liked. Remember when they came for my comic convention?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, they really loved it.
But Karen's place, it's in Pima, so it's like 20 minutes. No, how far is Pima?
15 minutes.
15 minutes from the venue, but it's an old Victorian home, and the owner is a chef, and she's hilarious.
Yeah, so there's a few. We'll get lists for all that. Jody Ann, did you use a modeling paste to spread over your stencil? No.
I didn't. I actually used salt wash and paint is what I used. But you could use a modeling paste, absolutely, right? Whatever texture medium like you're used to using would work.
Flea Brown says shadowing, sigh. I'm guessing
I know. We're gonna talk about. Well, because so inside the membership, we did color theory, and part of color theory we talked about values, and we talked about using light and shadow to give your projects form, not necessarily to make them look realistic, because like I'm not Matisse, I'm not going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to make this look ultra realistic, but you can take we can steal ideas or processes from the fine art world, and we can absolutely apply it to what we do, right? And adding light and shadows to our project is one of them. But two things happened. Flea said she is having issues or she's struggling with shadows. And then Michelle said that she's struggling to make her highlights look realistic. So what that tells me is that I need to circle back to that lesson, because I don't want to teach stuff just to teach it. Like the information doesn't have value if you can't implement it. So I'm going to hopefully talk to Flea and Michelle this week and get some input and maybe circle back and we can go over some more things.
I think it's cool that everybody's trying new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's very cool. Light sources, I'm no artist, but in talking with artists, because I have friends that are,
yes,
light sourcing is one of their big issues. They actually know where their light source is before they start work.
Yes.
Which me as a non-artist, I wouldn't even think of until after like the work is on the paper. It's like, oh, there should be a light source. Where do I put it? No. You've got to figure that out beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, so for us, like we're in this middle zone, right? Where we're not making art, and so it's not as critical for us.
Right.
We can just add it and we're still going to get the benefit of it, even though it's not like perfect.
Just makes it pop.
It just makes it pop, and it just gives it form and shape. Even though it's imperfect, it still gives it shape. And so no, we're just going to circle back to it. You know, for the Roycycled Besties membership, that's kind of what we talk about a lot, is kind of how we can steal these things, and not just from fine art world, but just from other worlds in general. Ooh, that's too chunky. Oh well.
Jonathan Tang says he's been proudly recycling for the past few weeks, but he says David is the GOAT.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan.
Good for you. So that brings up something. It's unrelated to what you're working on, but since you're drawing, I'm going to bring it up.
Yes.
So on my radio show, I have a talk show every day. Our local library comes on once a month. And this is their slow time, because right now they're doing all their cleaning and fixing and stuff.
Yeah, because school just started. They're done with the summer programs.
Right. So they didn't really have a lot to talk about. So I asked about little libraries.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they said, oh, those are very cool. They can be anywhere. Now I thought our library did the little libraries, and they have done a couple. But apparently it's a national organization that certifies little libraries. For those that aren't aware, it's a box somewhere. It almost looks like a birdhouse, but it can be any kind of shape.
Yeah.
And people put books in there. And as you walk by, you can take a book, you can bring a book, and it's just a free place to exchange books.
Yes.
So our local judge, again, because we're a small town and we all know each other, our local judge has one in front of his house. And he decided, I want to do this. And he can, and he did. So I was asking our library, can I do that? And they're like, absolutely, you could do that. And I said, well, I'd like to do comic books. Not the individual, but the collected editions. And I'm like, but I want to make sure you're okay with it, because there are comics that are for grown-ups, there are comics for kids.
Well, we'll use comics for kids, though,
that's what I want.
We just don't know who's going to be taking the book.
Correct. And we live right between two schools.
Yes.
So we get a parade of kids in front of our house all the time. So we're going to do kid comic books,
yes,
specifically. And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. The reason I bring this up is we're going to put Master Crafter George on
I haven't
it.
told George yet.
I know, poor George. Build a good little library, and then I think we're going to do a couple of weeks of Dave decoupaging that.
Yes.
Before it gets put up and put out.
So you'll get to see Dave the Goat, is what he's saying.
And that's why I'm bringing this up, because Jonathan, it's like he knew we needed to tease this. So it'll be a few weeks.
Did you call Jonathan and tell him you need to tease this?
Jonathan's my man. Okay, Janet Taylor Borgers, yes. My sister has a certified little library at her house. Pamela Dawn Guest, one library is for kids, a little lower than the other one.
Oh.
We have so many kids that go by ours. I just really want it to be kid friendly.
Yeah. Because we're like in between two schools.
We're like dead center between two schools. And they're going to stripe a bike path right
Finally?
next to our house. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We're in this year's capital project.
Nice.
So.
Oh, I know Pauline is so happy. She started fighting for that, what, 3 years ago?
At more than that, I think.
4 years ago?
At least. So yes, so we're going to have just a ton of kids. I want to make sure that no parent sees a kid bring a book home
that they're not happy with.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, you may not like the Fantastic Four, but that's up to you not liking the Fantastic Four.
But it won't be because there's something inappropriate.
Yeah, because, you know, yeah. So
I'm painting this color. I'm using Poseidon. Y'all know me. It's my favorite color. It's going to be my background color. Ooh, I should do some blending. Sorry, you guys. This is what happens when I have no plan. You guys get to be a part of the madness.
So Pamela Dawn Guest says she has two. That's why she said she has one for kids.
Okay.
Not associated with any group. You don't have to. There's nothing that says you have to. But if you go through this process, and it's not a hard process, you just basically tell them you have one.
Yeah.
I think there's a fee to get on their website.
But they'll put you on a map, right?
They'll put you on a map, and our library wants to know when ours is up so that we could go on the local library's map.
Yeah.
So
that way people know where the libraries are.
And Ari says, how was the old ham? I did have a ham sandwich for dinner, too. Yes, it was. Yes, Ari, I'm a fool. That's our daughter-in-law asking about my thinking roast beef was ham.
So I'm just going to do a little, I just decided to do it right now, too, y'all.
Ooh, Teresa Vitrino. Also seen seed libraries with packets.
Yes.
That's very cool.
The Clifton Library, I believe, has a seed library. I think our local library does, too, because they were looking for a card catalog. I'm terrible, y'all. I just couldn't give up mine. I love y'all, but I can't do it. I have one that I need to finish, a small one, too. It's like perfect for a side table.
We are at 1 hour, just to let you know.
Okay, that's perfect. We're actually going to finish a project. Maybe blending this specific color wasn't the best choice. I think we're okay. Okay.
So I have to go through, we've been talking about it. I was going to do it today, but I slept in. I just did. And took a nap. I slept in and took a nap. Boy, that grandkid just wipes me out.
I know. I didn't really, the last 2 weeks have been just solid running around, you know what I'm saying, like craziness. And so I just kind of took today off.
And we had elections this week here in Arizona. And
yes,
as a journalist, that's one of my busy times. And
yeah. I'm gonna have to
I
put
just
my
wiped
shadow
out.
back right there.
I was going to go pull my comics and some action figures because we're talking about doing that on Whatnot too. And I need to pick out the ones that I'm going to be willing to destroy for our decoupage because I want it to be comic book.
Yes.
I want
and
people
you
to
have to make
understand.
sure it's not going to be one that you want to use for the library too.
Correct.
So there's a lot of consideration.
Yes, there is. Paula Takagi, that crock is fabulous.
Thank you.
And Angie says that really makes the crock pop.
Yeah, the darker color, right? And then the color that I used, even though it's a white, it does have a lot of green in it. So I figured it would look really nice against this color. And this is my favorite color. Let's just be honest. I need a Klingon brush, but I don't have one here. This one is not doing the job for me. Do I dirty a brand new Klingon brush for you guys? I think I'm gonna do it. I'll use a round one.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, wow, I did not see how that blending was going to work, but it looks great.
I love blending, and this is why this particular color, this white that I'm using, I loved it because it blended so well with my colors, because I feel like white sometimes would make my stuff ashy. I didn't want my furniture to be ashy, and this color was like perfect because I could lighten my color without, you know, making it look ashy. I don't know, I have a better word for that.
Oh, how cool
And
is
I don't
this?
even want a perfect blend either. So you guys see me making like X's, it's because I want to have like visual texture on my background. And so I think I'm gonna leave that and then do the outer edge with just the Poseidon.
So Alyssa Bricker Visithin, the Girl Scouts near us have put up little food pantries. They look just like little libraries, but they have non-perishable food items, small packages of diapers and wipes. You can take things or leave things for others in need. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk to our local pantry about that one. That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, because they need more work, baby.
I know, but come on now. They're busy, so
I know.
maybe this would help in betweens.
Perhaps. Yeah, in between when they're allowed to go.
Tina Burke, I'm amazed how you can do a project in under an hour, and not really have a plan until last minute.
Girl, I'm a mess. That's why, Tina. Sometimes when I plan, I overplan and I overcomplicate things. So sometimes I think it serves me better when I don't have a plan, because then I don't overthink it and overcomplicate things. I just want to get right up on that crock. That's the hard thing about blending around something is,
All right, now I've got to ask you a question. So you're bringing the dark into closer to that crock. Why not leave the lighter around it?
because of this, it's almost the same color as the crock. I'm leaving some light around. I'm leaving the light over here on this side. So I'm leaving some light. It's lighter, right? It gets darker as it goes out, but I'm not leaving the white. My intention was to create light, but not white, if that makes sense.
Now, I'll be honest, I liked it when the dark was more at the top and you had a bigger expanse of that lighter Poseidon. It almost looked like, I would say probably like a sunrise. You know how you get the different shade, more like sunset, but you know how you get the different shades of indigo?
Yes.
As you're going along, and it reminded me of that.
Oh.
And Ari wants to know what's for dinner.
Oh, Ari, we don't know. Girl, you know we don't know what's for dinner.
It's whatever she makes.
He knows better than that, too.
Chris Schmidt, the crock really jumps off the canvas now. Excellent background color choice, totally came to life. Paula Takagi looks like 3D. Sharon Reyes, love the Poseidon color.
Poseidon is my favorite. I will tell you guys, the color that brought me to Wise Owl literally was Abyss. Beautiful teal. It's a little more green than Poseidon, but I flipped. I like Poseidon better now. Although my front door of my house, I did a mixture, a 50-50 mixture of Poseidon and Abyss. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. This is the thing about blending, and because I could go on forever and ever and ever. So I'm gonna dry this background. I'm gonna add my shadow back in over here. I think I'm gonna, let's do that, and then I can just exaggerate it with the...
You should have asked Ari. She went to Globe. I should have asked her to bring chicken back.
I know, Ari, you could have brought us some churches back.
Oh, that's on me, Ari. That's not on you. That's me not thinking.
I don't know. I think she should have offered. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
They
kidding.
cook for us so much.
And she has the baby in tow. I'm just
I
messing
know.
with her.
They really do. They've invited us over so many times.
I love when a plan comes together, because I really didn't have like a really good plan. I mean, like, you know, it was a good plan, but it wasn't a really thought out plan. I do think that the crock can be better. Like, I'm going to experiment a little bit with the texture. And you guys know what? You can use sprigs out of your yard too, right? If you have like some sprigs, you could push them in there, and then you'd have even more detail.
Teresa Vitrino says, I think David is talking about an ombre effect, O-M-B-R-E.
Yes.
Okay, sure. I'm the guy that doesn't know art but knows what he likes.
Yeah. And you and I had that conversation. You know, to me, if there aren't collectors, then artists would be out of business, right? So there's value in how you there's perception of value of art is still valuable, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'll never say an artist isn't good. I'll say I like or don't like a style.
Yeah.
But I can't do any of it, so it's all good to me. It's whether or not I like it. Catherine Miles just popping in from Australia. Good morning. Have I missed much?
Okay, so that's dry. It's pretty dry. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, if we had more time, I would perfect this blend a little bit more. Like, I want to pull that white up a little bit more. I might have to do it. Y'all know I cannot not do it.
Ari says, waiting for Royce, famous enchiladas or Alfredo?
Oh, the Alfredo is easy. Seriously. David loves it.
Oh, Royce's is so good.
Because it's simple. That's why I like it.
Now, I mean, you like it because it's simple. I like it because it tastes fantastic. I had never had a nutty Alfredo sauce until you made it. And the crazy thing is there are no nuts.
No, it's the cheese.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
You can tell I haven't dry brushed in a while because I ended up with a little splotch right there. But I'm just going to pull it. I think it'll be okay. And we're going to have plants coming out of here. So one of the things that I like to do when I blend, so if you've ever blended paint, you know how frustrating it is, because if I go back in with more blue and more white, it's like I'm blending all over again. So usually if I'm blending, I'll perfect my blend with a dry brush to really like tweak it to be exactly what I want it to be. Know what I mean? And so that way I don't have to go in and like start my blend all over again. And I just want this shape to be a little bit more organic than it is. So that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna blend. What time is it, baby? I'm running out of time now.
6:10.
I'm gonna seal this. We're gonna dry it again, and then we're gonna come in and we're gonna put some plants in the crock.
Mary Beth Martin says, would it have been easier to paint the whole background first, then the crock over it?
I don't know, because I was working with, I mean, that's a way, right? There's more than, I don't know, what does that saying come? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Anyways, you could do it that way, absolutely. I was just concerned that I would get like this stuff all over it if I did it that way. So I'm weird. I generally paint my backgrounds last. I don't know why.
I would assume it has something to do with 9 lives of a cat.
There's more than one way to skin a cat, though?
I don't know. If they got 9 lives, I would assume there's more than one way. I don't know. Ari says, do you hear the thunder?
I
Yes. Not as bad as last night. Jody Ann, now you have to give us that Alfredo recipe.
You know what? It is so easy. So we watched this guy. He had a food truck. And of course, during COVID, he had to shut down. So he started a YouTube channel. And he makes primarily Italian food, right? And so he said, traditionally in Italy, here in America, we put like cream in our Alfredo.
Well, he explained Alfredo, what we think of as Alfredo is an American invention.
Yes.
But
well,
the Italians have adapted it.
Well, they did it, but they just didn't call it what we call it.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because it was one of the 4 basic pastas, I think he said. There's this one, then there's the one with the egg.
Because there was like a star that went to Italy and had it at a restaurant, and he's the one who brought it back to America.
Right.
But he didn't have the recipe, so
That's right.
how cream ended up.
And the guy who did it for him was Alfredo.
Yes.
He owned the restaurant.
So long story short, all I do, you guys, is I warm up, and I use my cast iron because it holds heat better. I warm up my cast iron and I melt some butter in there. And then I am lazy, so I take, we have whole, what's a cheese, baby? My brain.
Parmesan?
Right, Parmesan. And I put it in my bullet. And I chop it up because I'm not shredding Parmesan.
And it needs to be really fine.
Yeah, but you want it to be really fine. Be careful, don't do it for too long, because if your bullet gets hot, then you end up with like a goopy mess. So you really want to like push it and let it, you don't want to let it run continuously for a long time.
Yeah.
You want to like pulse it until it's done.
Right. In a food processor.
And so I add that to the butter, and in order to emulsify it, I just add water from the pasta. So I usually start my pasta first. So I add the pasta water, and that emulsifies the sauce, and then I add the pasta, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. It is super easy. David loves it.
It is fantastic. It doesn't need, I've heard chicken, I've heard shrimp. We should try it with the shrimp one of these days.
We should. We can make the shrimp on the side.
Yep.
You guys see me crisscrossing? It's because I really want to have that texture in my background.
Chris Schmidt says the blotches in the blend really add texture to the background.
Yes.
Ari says she's going to FaceTime us after this. Angie Champagne, egg carbonara. Yes, thank you. And then we saw one with a special kind of ham that I want to try, but he said you really have to use a very specific Italian ham, and it's expensive.
It is. Well, so this is the story. So we watched this guy, right? And we went to Walmart and bought our Parmesan, and that's what we were using.
Right, and it was delicious.
It was delicious. But there's an Italian, it's not a deli. It's
it's a deli.
But there's a name for it. I forget. Because it has the restaurant and it has the counter where you can buy stuff too.
Most delis in big cities do.
Okay. So there's a place in Scottsdale we went to, and they had this like cheese
imported.
that we're supposed to use. We bought some. It was expensive. We didn't like it.
It wasn't as good as the cheap Walmart stuff.
We like it better with the Walmart cheese. So, but we tried it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the thing with the ham. I'm sure that's the traditional ham, but
right. I think it's got to be some kind of specific cured ham. We can look at who's doing it in America. We don't have to import it.
Yeah.
Or go to an importer.
I want to put my line back right there. That's bothering me that it disappeared.
Elisa Tomzak, that crock is looking great. The shadowing looks amazing. And she says, by the way, hello.
Hello.
Pancetta? No, I don't think it was a pancetta. Belinda Ruth, a bodega would be a Hispanic version of a deli?
Yeah, it's like a Cuban, right?
It's not a prosciutto. I don't believe it's a prosciutto.
It was thick. It was thick.
Yeah, it was a thick.
So it wasn't like really thin like the prosciutto would be. I don't know what it was.
Billy Keir says she likes the Parmesan from Costco.
Oh,
we don't have one here, so we don't have a membership.
We know people with memberships, though. Right?
Yeah, we do. Lee, I can have him pick it up next time. We'll find out what it is and try it one of these days. Because he showed how you can take basically the 4 pastas of Italy, just add one thing.
Oh yeah, that one show that he did. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you do this. Now you add an egg and it's carbonara. Now you add this and
Yes.
it's something else.
Super basic,
You add
super
tomato.
simple.
Yeah, he ran a tomato through a mill, and he's like, now it's this. And it was kind of cool. Pancetta? It might be pancetta. Tina Burke said, is it pancetta?
I don't
Lisa
remember.
Vansel said, yeah, pancetta. It might
Oh,
be.
they might know.
It might be.
So I'm going to be using, for those of you who are late, this is the Franz Botanical. This is one of my favorites because it has all kinds of ferns on there. And so I figured I can kind of cut this one apart and use it for this crock, primarily because this flower right here is going to be falling perfectly out of it, right?
There you go. Flea got it. Now I remember guanciale.
Okay.
That's,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That is it.
Because I can hear him saying it.
Yep. So we looked it up. We did.
And you know why I like him? Because he's not pretentious.
No, he makes mistakes when he's doing stuff.
It's not even that, though. Sometimes when you watch those cooks, they're like, you have to use they're all like pretentious and I don't know. He's like down to earth. I don't know. I just like him.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have all that fancy attitude business. He's a guy with a food truck who loves cooking Italian food.
Kathleen Huvis, I think I'm the only one who doesn't like pasta.
I'm sure there are other people.
Oh, yeah.
I was messing with Alexis because she doesn't like pizza. I know.
I'm okay with that. Not everybody does.
I'm like, I thought everybody liked pizza. No, I know.
They were giving me side eye when we did breakfast over at their house because I don't like eggs.
Oh, I know.
Eggs in things, okay. An egg, no.
I eat a lot of eggs because it's such a simple protein to make. Okay, so I don't have to cut these in pieces because once I take the backing off, it's only the artwork is going to transfer. But I'm going to cut it in pieces so that I can see how everything is going to lay.
Flea said Ken is the food expert. He came up with the right answer.
Oh.
Yeah, it was guanciale. So I do want to try it though.
I do.
Because it looked good.
I want that to be coming out. I probably shouldn't have cut off the stem, but imodo, it's done now. We'll just cover that part up. And the reason why I'm not just using it whole, because it would just look weird, right? It's not like positioned right. So we're gonna cut out all these pieces and we're gonna reposition them so that they look good coming out of. What time is it, baby? I feel like I'm running out of time.
It is 6:19.
Oh, okay.
Lisa Vansel, it's called Not Another Cooking Show.
Oh, is that what
YouTube.
it's called? Okay.
Yeah, Not Another Cooking Show on YouTube.
It's not just another cooking show either.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is start off with this bigger one first and then bring the smaller ones around it. Although I kind of messed up my stem on this one. So now I'm going to have to improvise just a wee bit. But I don't want to cover this one up. So let's put her right there.
Kathleen Huvis says, I wish they made IOD transfers with a clear background.
Oh, I know.
placement."
That would be cool for placement, right?
But
You
I
could make a suggestion. IOD is really good about being innovative with their products. They really, really are. Because you guys remember the masks? When they first came out, they were clear and everyone was not upset, but you would just lose them super easy. And so then they came out with the colored ones and now they're stamped, which is really nice.
Amber Demakowitz, I eat a lot of eggs in the morning, then use the shells for gardening calcium in the garden. Drives her kids nuts because they ask if she saves everything.
So I drink a lot of tea. I probably use 2 lemons a day. And I started feeling bad because I was throwing away all these lemon peels. And I know that they're peels, but like, oh, well, that's not going to be good. Is it sticking? Okay, no. Sorry, that angle wasn't going to work. So the lemons. And so what I started doing was I have this big old canning jar of, I don't know, it's weird. It's big, but it's a canning jar. And I put rubbing alcohol in there, isopropyl alcohol, and then I take the, the middle part of the lemon out, and I just stick the peels in there, and I let that sit for like, I don't know, this last time like 6 weeks, and then I put it in a spray bottle, and it is such a good cleaner, and it smells so good.
Lisa Vancil, did you see the inlay over gold leaf?
Did I see the inlay over the gold leaf? No, I don't think I saw that. I would imagine that'd be fabulous though. I haven't even had a really chance to play with the new stuff.
Shane Seller says she uses her coffee grounds in the garden as well. Vicky Valdez Green, I didn't used to like pizza. My husband could eat it 7 days a week. So she's learned to like it, but she does her own thing.
Yeah. Well, and pizza is so, it's not just one thing. Like someone was saying, white sauce versus red sauce. You can change your toppings. So as long as you like the bread, I think you're okay. Now, if you don't like the pizza, then that's a whole other thing.
Before I couldn't eat garlic, or while I was learning that I couldn't eat garlic, we would grab pizza crust and use a garlic butter on it, and then we would put crab and cheese.
You know what we haven't made in a while is our chicken barbecue pizza.
Yeah, so pizza is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So good for you, Vicky.
Yeah, we buy the pre-made pizza crusts. You guys know the ones. What is it? What is the name of it?
What?
It's not even in the refrigerated section. The pizza that we use.
Bobbio or something
like that.
Yeah.
And we put barbecue sauce, chicken, and fresh mozzarella on it. It's so good. The young mozzarella that hasn't been aged.
Yeah. Swanky Vintage with Carol says you could add lemon peel to vodka and make lemon extract.
Ooh. I might do that. Because I go through a lot of lemons for real. And we all know I have vodka out here in my shed, so. I haven't done furniture in a long time, so I have that same bottle. Although I did pick up a piece of furniture, you guys. As soon as we get, one of the things on my list for this week is to finish getting this space organized, and I'm going to be installing a new bracket so that we can position the camera, because I hate to have you guys looking at the back of my head. So we have one that comes down and then it goes like that so they can see the furniture, and then I can put one camera right there so they can see the furniture and they can see my face at the same time. So not necessarily just the back of my head.
Shy C says lemon and rubbing alcohol, correct? Yes. 92%? 97? What was it?
I didn't pay attention the first time. We bought the 91% today.
Yeah.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Which, by the way, my wife complained about paying $3 for.
Yes.
But think about it. You made, what, 2 full bottles and a little leftover that looks like a urine sample.
You're so terrible.
And that was $6.
I know.
If you bought those bottle sizes, they would have been $6 by themselves.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, I used to be able to buy rubbing alcohol for like 98 cents.
Yeah, it's gone up. Shy C says Boboli.
Yes.
Boboli? I don't know how to pronounce it.
You know the one we're talking about though, Shy, right?
Yeah. Ruru 2, I've been putting my organic lemon seeds in a pot. They sprout. Now I have tiny little lemon trees.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
We probably could get away with growing citrus. I mean, there's a lot of citrus in Arizona because we have so much sunlight.
One of the 5 C's.
Although it's not as much anymore. Back in the day, you could drive down Baseline in Phoenix, and there would be nothing but like orchards and farms. They're all gone now.
But yes, Arizona has the 5 C's.
Cattle, copper, and citrus, is that what it is?
Cattle, copper, citrus, cotton, climate.
Oh, they should add corrections too.
That's what I said. And
there are a lot of prisons here.
Yeah, my boss got mad at me when I said that. I think to our governor at one point. I said, yeah, it's 6. It's corrections. Jeanette Pearson, you can dehydrate peels.
Yes, I did see that, and I also saw somebody candy them too.
Yep.
They like boiled them in sugar and then dehydrated
You
them.
just got to make sure there's no rind.
Yes, that's the hard part. That's why I haven't done it.
Yeah, Shane Sellers, is there anything that hasn't gone up? Nope. You're right.
There isn't.
Nope.
These corporations have just gotten greedy.
Paula Takagi, canyons. We really don't have we got one big canyon, but
I don't know. We have a bunch of canyons.
we do. We have.
I mean, I feel like when you drive across the state of Arizona, you're like coming out of a bowl and you're going over mountains and into another bowl and out. And so everybody says valley. So we'll say in the valley, we mean the Gila Valley. But then people from Maricopa are talking about their valley.
Yeah, Valley of the Sun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And where I lived before, Havasu really is kind of in a valley.
Yeah.
They don't have mountains like we have mountains. So we're kind of Rocky Mountain foothills. We're not technically, because we're too far away. New Mexico is considered foothills. But the reality is, yeah, we're kind of. Yeah, Therese Vitrino, Riverside, California was all orange groves, would smell so good. They're pretty much all gone now. Yeah, I used to be out that way on the west coast of Arizona. I agree, it's a shame. Tina Burke says, it's grand, LOL. The canyon.
Oh. Yes. The canyon that everybody knows about is the Grand Canyon, which, by the way, I have not been to.
Been to the
ever.
west rim. I've never been to the main part of the canyon, but I've been to the west rim of the canyon.
It's just funny to me that.
628.
Okay. I'm finishing up right now, baby. So I have a question for my people. Should I put topography on my crock or should I leave it? You guys tell me. You have to vote real fast though, because my husband is giving me the side eye over there.
Yeah, Lisa Tomczak says guanciale is pork cheeks. I think somebody else said that too. Said it's really expensive. Yeah, Chris Schmidt. Guanciale is made from the cheek of the pork, of the pig. So, Colleen Kobialka, how is your water? The news is saying Arizona is drying up. Yes, Arizona is. We are okay where we're at. We're not good. We're okay.
This is the thing that's interesting to me. So we live in a rural community, a farming community, right? So we've been talking about water for 20 years.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Right? And so it's interesting that people are just now starting to talk about water. So I guess when somebody brings it up, we're just like, yeah, like, because it has been such an issue here for a very long time. And now the city wants to try to meter our water. Mind your business. Y'all over there with y'all golf courses using all that water, you better figure it out.
Tina says leave it, no topography. Amber DeMackwitz says topography would look good.
We're at 50-50.
Flea, topography, Ken, no topography, a house divided. Chris Schmidt says no topography. So I think no is leading by one.
Okay.
So yeah, it really...
There is a lot going on already.
From a water standpoint, it became an issue because the Colorado River feeds waters two of the 5 largest cities in the United States, Phoenix and Los Angeles. And because the Colorado was going down so much, now when the big cities were affected, everybody started paying attention.
They should have been paying attention.
But we here, we've been paying attention. The farming communities in California have been paying attention, and in Arizona, along the river, have been paying attention for a long time. It's just the big cities paid attention, so now everybody's paying attention.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see. Topography. Chris Schmidt, no. Angie, no. Lisa Vansel, yes. Teresa Vitrino, could you show it without actually applying it?
Could I show
What you're thinking of?
I don't know. Let me see. I guess I could trim around something really tight and see.
I would say this.
It's a lot going on already, huh?
I really think it kind of doesn't need it.
I think I kind of agree.
So,
I just like topography so much. What if we just put like little bits?
I say no.
You just want to leave.
There's that.
But no, for real though. What if I just did
for real
like,
though, because of the texture that you have on there,
like just one little word?
I think the topography is unnecessary.
I think you're right. I know you're right.
Because of the texture that you put on.
I could. Oh. Okay. One more thing, babe. I promise, and then we'll go. And I have not used this. I have not used this transfer yet, you guys. So we'll put it on the background. We won't put it on the pots.
Shane says it would be too busy.
If I put topography on the background?
Robin Dayan, no water in the building is non-stop. She's in North Phoenix. I know. It drives me crazy. The other thing that really drives me crazy is the Phoenix area and all the golf courses.
We drove through Scottsdale, and there's like a linear park.
Oh, that goes forever.
Forever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's all potable water.
And it's beautiful. I want to stress that. It is a beautiful park.
It is beautiful, but that is all potable water. I'm just saying. I haven't used this transfer yet, so you guys tell me.
I don't like it in the background.
You don't like the gold in the background?
I don't. I think it would be out of place in the background.
I think I would have had to do it before I put the plants on there.
I think you're right there. And I still think it would be out of place in the background.
But see, like, there's like topography in between the pieces.
Colleen completely disagrees with me. Yes to topography. Therese Vitrino, yes, just the word.
There's too many choices now.
Tina Burke, yes, background.
I am burning up, I swear.
It is warm. I don't know what happened, but it's suddenly gotten warm.
Suddenly it's warm, right?
Yeah.
My cooler is like done.
Yeah.
Y'all done wore me out.
Vicky Valdez Green, Irvine, California did a great job of developing the areas that were orange groves. They left a row of orange trees on either side of the street, and on some places they left a row of eucalyptus in the street medians. Kathleen Hoovis, no gold, perfect as is. Flea has changed her mind, leave it. Kathy Doucette, looks good as is. Chris Schmidt, perfect as is. Lisa Vansell, the transfer is prettier out of the packaging.
It is. I'm just gonna do one little thing. I'm just gonna put this number on there. I gotta put some topography or it won't be mine.
Shane says leave it as it is.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna put one little number on here. It says number 54. I'm gonna put it right here.
So us in Southern California also have an issue with what we grow. And we grow a lot of water-heavy crops, which are problems. So
I will say that our local farmers, though, have done a really good job, innovative, how they use the water.
I'm not complaining about our farmers. I'm talking just in general.
Okay.
So alfalfa is Arizona's biggest crop, even though we say cotton.
Oh, wow.
Alfalfa is a water sponge. It takes a ton of water. The other one is it pistachios or what's the other nut that?
It's pistachios, the one in Cochise.
Yeah, and Southern California grows a lot of those too. Huge water user. So.
Okay, I just put a little bitty number right there, you guys. Sorry.
So there are, we could do a lot of things smarter.
Yes.
And we're starting. We have a new company that's got a new drip irrigation system. They're doing something, I think in the next couple of weeks, as a demonstration project.
What, for residential?
Primarily farms.
Well, because the farmers here are already using drip.
No, they're not. It's very expensive to put in. This is a cheaper alternative.
Oh, to what they're doing. I know Daly's is.
Yeah.
And the one east of town, they're using drip.
They are. This is N-Drip. It's an Israeli company. And because there's no water in there, they found a pretty inexpensive way to do it. So they're going to roll out, I think, a demonstration in the next few weeks.
Cool.
Yeah. So
is the U of A involved in that, the extension office?
No, this is a commercial company, so that's why.
I know, but the U of A still partners with commercial companies.
I don't know.
If they're bringing value.
That part I don't know.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, yeah, the University of Arizona is our land grant college, so our local extension office partners with farmers to figure things out, farmers and ranchers.
I mean, people love pistachios. Nobody's going to argue that they aren't wonderful. I
They
will,
just
because I
lose a
don't
lot
like
of
them, but you
water.
like them.
Ironically, they grow in desert.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the crazy thing.
yeah.
But cotton's the same way.
Yeah.
You need a lot of water early, but once they hit a certain point, no water. If it rains, it could kill the crop.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's why deserts are so good for cotton, because you can control the moisture. But yeah, we've known about water for a while. It's just now that the big cities are learning it's an issue.
They knew
Now
too,
it's an issue.
because it wasn't an issue for them. They just didn't care.
Exactly. Well, that's most things for people.
That's leadership, though.
Yeah.
Not just people. So, anyways, that's the project for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun, and I literally, like last minute, made decisions about what I was going to do. It's probably good I didn't get to think about it.
Amber Demakowitz, Israel pulls water out of the air. Fantastic the way they did it. I looked at their plans to make cheap units. Maybe that's what this is involved with. I'm not entirely certain,
know.
but I know they're an Israeli company. That's all I know. And they are setting up a local branch here.
Oh, they're actually setting up like a...
Yeah, they're going to be out at the airport.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. Sorry,
in the
I'm still-
industrial park. So they won't affect our flights if we ever get them.
Oh, okay. No, they have plans out there at the airport.
Yeah.
Were there any questions tonight, baby? I mean, you guys chatting, and that's wonderful, but I didn't hear any questions.
No, not really. It's been chatty tonight.
I love Chatty, though. You guys, Chatty is good.
Darlene
I just
Craig's-
don't want anyone to go with unanswered questions.
Yeah, Darlene Craig said, really enjoyed the techniques tonight. All right, I'm going to ask you guys one last thing, and then I'm going to turn my mic
He gonna
off.
cause problems. What you gonna ask, baby?
Should Royce sign this?
Oh my gosh, baby. No.
So there you go. I'm out. Later.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Let me see. If you were not able to attend the live Stencil Lab 102 course, you guys can still sign up. The replays will be posted tomorrow. For those of you who did sign up for VIP, I believe Brenda got like the unedited videos posted by Friday, and then tomorrow will be like the really short edited versions will be uploaded. And if you upgraded to VIP, the workbook will be in the email that goes out tomorrow. So I apologize for that. I thought the workbook was attached to the thank you email. So you guys can get your workbooks. Somebody asked questions about the Zoom calls. The way we like to do it is, we want a couple of weeks to go by, and then we'll schedule the calls. And our thought around this is that you guys will have opportunities to implement some of the things that we learned in the class. And you know how you learn something, you're like, oh yeah, I have that. But then when you start doing it, you have additional questions. And so the Zoom calls will give you guys an opportunity to ask those questions in real time. So,
I do have one question,
yes.
but I'm going to ask the question after I tell you this. Everybody says yes, sign it. And a few people say yes, sign it and auction it on Whatnot. The question is this on a canvas? All right, later, guys.
It's on a wood canvas. So I guess so. And I think I'm gonna gold leaf the edges if I do that. But anyways, it's on a gold canvas. I mean on a wood canvas, not on a canvas. But I think that's it, babe. Unless you had any more trouble to cause. No, he's shaking his head now. Ooh, I can use the texture medium with gold. I just want gold in there. I don't know what's wrong with me. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. You guys remember, you can do everything that you see me do today. You can absolutely do.
I have one question, but I turned my mic off. Sorry. Shane Sellers says, can I still upgrade? I didn't get to watch the live class.
So Shane, you can upgrade. The class will be available for 30 days. So if you log on to roycycledacademy.com tomorrow, the replays will be there for you for 30 days. But yes, you can still upgrade. We'll make sure and drop a link inside of the Facebook group for those of you who still want to upgrade. Is that it, baby? Y'all messing with me. You guys remember, you can do this. You can do it today. You guys have a blessed week, and Lord willing, we'll see y'all next Sunday. Or if you join us on Whatnot,